Gonna just say that Tiger Wolf's Gunpla is just a Megazord. That's all it is. Let's not try and hide it. It's a Megazord and it's pretty fucking rad. It has a tiger and a wolf on one side. Has the arms crossed. And I was like, they are really trying to win me over because, like, yeah, I kind of like cool shit like that. Going into the sunset, staring you down, giving the anime speech as you always do, trying to sound like a badass to your students. And I'm like, alright, I can see them trying really hard with him to try with, like, this furry wolf man, but it's like, I did like his Gundam Ultron, it was called. I was like, okay, I do like that a little bit. And for this entire training episode, is as it's pretty much called, we did learn some pretty new stuff, and I am so glad how this episode ended, because it wasn't entirely tropey. The whole episode for the most part was like the training, you know, tropey shit that we normally get, but overall, the way how it ended, I was like, oh, thank you. I'm glad we didn't go down this route of, like, making our characters superhumans, like, at all. It's like, no, they're pros from the start. It's like, they have potential, and we're going to slowly see that start coming out in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So, with this episode, we kind of really get introduced very quickly with perhaps one of the funniest scenes in the entire show so far, because I relate to it a little bit too much, and it's Momoko actually going, I'm looking at all these Gundams, what the fuck, why they got these names, why does this make any sense? Like, she is screaming her head off, like, none of this makes sense, how the fuck, what is with Gundam, like, why are there so many, why is this, like, it's like she's, like, having this nervous breakdown, and, like, the shop manager's like, yeah, no, I kind of had to learn all these names, and I'm not really into it either, and it's like, I kind of like that, there are just people in this world that are like, I mean, it's her job, but she's not fully into it, and it's like, look, I don't, like, Momoko's like, there's, like, I'm not fully into this, so can you just give me something to start off with? And they start off like this little, tiny little green pod one, I forget the name of it, but it was like, yeah, it's a rental one, where it's like, you can use these instead of trying to build your own, because, you know, to do that to a beginner. As someone that owns two Gunplas, who owns the Gundam Thunderbolt and owns the Gundam Stray, like, I tried building a Stray on my own. I am not touching Thunderbolt, because I'm probably going to need actual help building that one, but it's like, you can see that it's like, yeah, at beginner level you shouldn't actually try some of this stuff, and you see, like, finally we get her reveal, even though we've been seeing her in the openings and endings of what, kind of like what she looks, has a diver named Momo. She kind of see, like, you see her, she's got, like, the pink hair, the cat ears, and the long thigh boots, and I'm like, yeah, wow, that design, yeah, oof. Like, there's nothing to say, but it's like, I don't care for it all. Like, it's just seems like a very, like, it's more tailored towards like a child audience. I'm like, yeah, that's like the show is as well. I'm like, nothing really to say on there. However, though, we do get the whole thing from Maggie, where it's like, I know a guy, his name is Tiger Wolf, and maybe he might be able to teach you a few things and kind of show you the little ropes a little bit more. And we find out he's in this entire dojo area, and as his name lives up to, Tiger Wolf, he is a weird humanoid Tiger Wolf man, who has his arms crossed and has a bunch of bald monks. He's pretty much living with Tien for the most part. I'm pretty sure Tien's on the next mountain over as he's training his students. It's like, yeah, no, I'm just going to be training my dudes here, and it's like, oh, you want to train? And they do the weird thing is like, let's have a training montage. You need to be strong yourself to, you know, get good with your Gunpla. And it's like, over some conversation that took basically the two girls to kind of convince, because he has a weakness of women. And I was like, alright then, sure, why not? He's not that good of a monk, but sure. And it was like, let's do some training exercises, where it's like, let's do some sit-ups and all this shit. And it's like, but we're in an MMO world. We don't feel any of this. We're not physically training ourselves. And it was like, no, I want you to train you. Like, you need to learn the difference though, because it's like, you finally realize it's like, your body works differently here in the version, as he shows, like, he can just crush like a giant rock with his bare hand. It works differently. Like, but you're still acting like your normal human bodies, as he proves, where it's like, he goes to punch him and it's like, why did you blink? It's not gonna hurt you. Like, you need to realize that it's like, you're not going to be you can be taking damage, but it takes a lot for that until the last point, until you go down. So, you know, you need to keep trying. And it's like, he's pretty much saying, like, you can still have a chance even with, like, the slimmest, like, of odds. And it's like, no, you need to learn the system a little bit more. And, like, some people just don't play this for fights at all, or die to points. Some people just do this just to have fun and, like, escape the real world. We do get a creepy scene of like some guy clearly stalking Yuki, so something clearly to do with the mass divers. We've seen him in the opening as well, so showcasing that we've got some kind of the villain being set up, or some sort of antagonist like in the near future. Whether or not what he's going to be doing, we'll have to see. This then leads into like more Yuki and Riku actually fighting a mobile suit without their Gundams at all, which was weird. I was like, yeah, let's find the weak spots, and they're fighting around. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching right now? I'm like, am I watching a Gundam show right now? And I'm just watching like fucking like, I don't know what the fuck I was watching. I felt like I was watching a Digimon episode at some point. It's like, who the fuck does that? It's like, apart from the main dude from like Frontier or Savers or whatever the fuck the show was called. It was like, yeah, let me just go out there and like punch a Gundam with my bare fist. I'm like, sure. I mean, he knives it in the end and gets like a part of it, and Tiger Wolf gets in there and he's like, no, I'm gonna stop this. Basically, the episode ends up with the bounty hunter guy getting involved, who had a Tequila Gundam, which was the stupidest fucking design I've ever seen for a Gundam in my life. It's got a mustache, it's got a fucking big old dumb cowboy hat on it, like, the designs, like a big, like, it had like a fucking guitar on its back as well. I'm like, what the fuck is with this thing? Maybe I'm, like, more in, like, the whole practical mind. Even still, like, when we had characters like Fumina and, like, a bunch of the other characters from Tri and Gundams, like, you get to see people like SD Gundams, and they were still useful, they could still be used, and they were like practical. But this is like, this is just fucking dumb looking, like even on a cosmetic wise. And it's like, maybe it's because I'm so used to like, you know, the 79s, the ages, like even, I guess even as well when we go with like Yuki and Riku's models as well, it's like when there's like just fucking energy particles flowing out of them and giant cannons strapped to them. It's like, yeah, you gotta take some realism out of it at some point, and clearly it's a game where you can customize whatever the fuck you want, but it's like, man, this looks dumb. Man, this looks really dumb, and he's the antagonist, and he does really bad English at some points, because of course he does. And I like the fact, what I did like about this episode is that Yuki and Riku didn't win. They couldn't. He was too strong, he was bad. This fucking jobber, they couldn't do anything against this jobber, and it was like, we have a long way to go, but they at least try to put up a fight. Like, Tiger Wolf gets knocked down a little bit, and then comes back doing the pose, like, with his Gundam, like, crossed-armed, got a lion and a wolf on each side, and it's like, let me show you my special move. And I'm like, oh, wait, what? Special move? And it's like, he straight up fucking, just a giant ball of energy with, like, I believe it was like a wolf or a dragon egg just come out. He's like, I taste my tri-fangs, and he just punches it. I think it was called, like, Ryu Fudo something it was called, and it was like, blast this fucking thing down. This guy gets eliminated, and it's like, yeah, no, the hit again, showcasing as we did with last week. This is the barrier, because it was like, I want to become more like the champion. It's like, well, you got to deal with these people. You can't deal with jobber bounty hunter who was kind of built up. Where he's like, he's out of the force. He's a high-ranking player, but he's like, doesn't seem to be the cream of the crop. And it's like, if you become C rank, you can then unlock your own moves, which is special depending on what Gundam you use, what your kind of build is, and it's like, yeah, no, this is just video game shit. This is really just Gundam Breaker, the anime. Like, I'm surprised they didn't just call it Gundam Breaker, the animation at this point, because, like, although it was never really implied at all in Tri or the original, it was just like, you just used the things that you placed on your Gundam, and, like, there was clearly limits as well, where it's like, you can only have so much weight on here, or boosters and stuff like that to make it, like, there was the one guy from Tri who had to actually have his other teammates be like chargers, batteries, because his Gundam was so overpowered compared to the rest of them. And so it was like, that's I guess an interesting little tidbit on there. I mean, the episode was fine. Like, I think this was probably better than, like, I'd say episode 2 is probably still one of the weaker episodes that we've had, but this one, I was expecting, honestly, dry nothingness, and I was like, I got entertainment out of this. This is a 6. This is a fine episode. Overall, like I said, there hasn't been any episodes yet where it's been like, oh, I'm so tired of the show, I want to drop it. And I keep feeling like this show is going to be like, maybe in an episode or two, I'm just going to forget about it. But it still hasn't completely blow me away like the others. So, like I said, I'm still giving it a chance. We're already 4 episodes in, like 4 to 3 episodes into the show now. So it's like, you know, I'm giving it a fair shake before like we go anywhere else really with this show. So hopefully, I like to say like it vamps up like the other Gundams, fighter series. So it's like I hope it does like with the rest of them. So we'll wait and see. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.